Welcome to the 34th Annual Des Moines Branch NAACP Freedom Fund Banquet. We are honored by your support of this very special occasion. Together, we celebrate a century of hope. 2009 marks the 100th anniversary of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. Des Moines Branch also proudly commemorates its 94th year of championing civil rights. As we reflect on this landmark anniversary, we salute the NAACP's powerful legacy, which includes 100 years of fighting for freedom and equality, a century of demanding justice, and 10 decades of being America's conscience. The NAACP is the nation's largest and oldest, baddest and boldest civil rights organization. Today, we celebrate a century of hope. We sincerely thank the sponsors of the 34th Annual Des Moines Branch Freedom Fund Banquet. Leading the way is our presenting sponsor, Iowa Health System. Champion sponsors include Nationwide, Walmart, and Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Thank you also to our sustaining sponsors, supporting organizations, and our heritage and patron ticket holders. Your support will help us continue the work of the NAACP. We are honored by the presence of our keynote speaker, Hillary O. Shelton, Vice President for Advocacy and Director of the National NAACP Washington Bureau. We'd also like to recognize our banquet co-chairs. Corporate co-chair, Bill Lever, President and CEO of Iowa Health System. Community co-chair, Dr. Vincent Lewis, Principal of North High School. Please stay tuned for an important announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Barack Obama.
Thank you all so much for allowing me to join you today. I'm pleased to help you commemorate this historic anniversary. And I'm so sorry I can't be there in person to express my profound gratitude to the NAACP as you mark this milestone. It is humbling to consider all that the NAACP has achieved over the course of a century. It's humbling to think of the progress made possible by ordinary folks who refused to settle for the world as it was and instead stood up and fought to remake the world as it should be. It's humbling to know that it is only because of the men and women of the NAACP, only because of those freedom riders and civil rights workers, those protesters, preachers, and teachers, that I can come before you as President of the United States. The men and women who started this work a century ago were united not by color, but by cause. Their shared determination to secure for all people those rights that were only available to some. They understood that for those words put to paper by our founders to mean something for all our people, each new generation would have to breathe new life into them. For 100 years, that has been the mission at the heart of this organization's work, from integrating our schools and armed forces, to passing the Voting Rights and Civil Rights Acts, to fighting poverty and despair and working to lift up our communities. It's a responsibility each of us still bears today. For this moment of challenge for our nation, at the dawn of this organization's next century, we know that our work is nowhere near finished. We know that there are children to teach and jobs to create and cities to rebuild. There's still gaps to be closed and wrongs to be righted, and injustices that linger on from the last century to our own. Thurgood Marshall once said, "In recognizing the humanity of our fellow beings, we pay ourselves the highest tribute." For 100 years, the NAACP has pushed us to acknowledge the humanity in each other and to ensure that our laws would follow suit. You've inspired us to strive for that mountaintop, even when the climb seems steep. And for that, I honor you, I congratulate you, and I wish you another century of accomplishment as extraordinary as your first. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us in celebrating a century of hope.